What is going on, you guys? It is Livid Fray. Hope you guys are all doing very well today, and welcome back to another vendor reset. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Starting off first inside the terminal, we have another Historian this week with Deadly. Just roll Adept over to Prepared. This works really well for PvP Deadeye. Next, we're heading over to the base of operations at the Dark Zone vendor in the security wing. This vendor has a red small grip available with 19% critical hit damage, 2% accuracy, and 5% optimal range. Ideally, you would want some different rolls here, but this is still a really good option if you don't have any small grips available to you. Next, we're heading over to Cam Clinton. This vendor has an SR7 suppressor with 19% critical hit damage, 2.5% critical hit chance, and 3% stability. You would ideally want 3% crit hit chance here at least, but I do think this is a really good option to use. We do have a lot of critical hit damage options this week. Next, this vendor has a 4% Seeker Mind damage performance mod. Make sure you throw these on your Tactician builds if you're utilizing the Seekers. I tend to only use these if I'm wearing a Relentless backpack because the more damage your Seeker Mind bleed does, the more healing you'll get in return. Next, we're heading down to Camp Hudson. This vendor has a C79 scope with 19% crit damage, 2% accuracy, and 3% stability. So like I said, lots of critical hit damage options this week. These are perfect to be throwing on your Deadeye builds especially, or really any kind of AR where you need critical hit damage involved. Our next stop is going to be the Cavern Safe House. This vendor does have a really good pair of accomplished knee pads that you can use for that increased kill XP build that I did a while back. I'll make sure to link that in the description if you would like to review that. But we have electronics, skill power, damage to elites, burn resistance, and bleed resistance. I would swap any of the resistances over for increased kill XP, and you can use these to farm proficiency caches very easily. Again, that method and that build will be linked in the description below. Next, we're heading over to Madison Stand. This vendor has another performance mod for us at 4% sticky bomb damage, so if you would prefer to do these instead of Seekers, I would definitely recommend this, especially if you're using an inventive backpack. Speaking of inventive backpacks, we are heading over to the Ward. This vendor is selling an inventive. Really good rolls already. You can just roll burn resistance off or whatever you would prefer. I usually do disrupt resistance, but you can also do ammo capacity. This vendor also has a 4% ballistic shield damage mod. You can use these for either D3 or for Sentry. I have a Sentry shield build that I would recommend. I will leave that in the description as well. Our next stop is going to be the Firewall Safe House. This vendor has a good rapid chest piece. I would highly recommend using rapid for any kind of tactician support builds. This will highly increase the cooldown for your healing skills such as first aid, support station, and I think it also works for the recovery link. I'm not 100% sure about that though. I would recommend rolling off health on kill for skill haste. Our next stop is going to be the Dark Zone West 53rd Street checkpoint. This vendor has a heavy mag spring. Would definitely recommend these for PvP Lone Star. It has critical hit damage, chance, and rate of fire. And then we're heading across the way over to DZ East 40th Street. This vendor has a lightweight M4 with ferocious, destructive, and commanding. You can really make whatever you would like work for this weapon. You can change any of these roles and any of them are doable. I would say if you are going to keep commanding, I would have your secondary weapon have determined on the bottom so you can farm your ultimate skill back. Our next location is going to be East 53rd Street. This vendor has an MG5 available with competent, destructive, and predatory. You can make this work for a PvE Lone Star. I would probably roll competent off for accurate, and I think this is a really good option. Our final stop is going to be Dark Zone 9 Safe Room. This vendor has two really good weapon attachments available, starting off with the Hand Stop. Hand Stop has 30.5 reload speed, which is a half percentage off max. Then we have critical hit damage and 2% accuracy. And then finally we have a VX-1 scope with 18.5 headshot damage, 4% critical hit damage, and 3% accuracy. These are honestly very rare. It's really hard to find good VX-1 scopes, so I would definitely recommend buying these if you do not have any good ones available to you. There you guys have it. That's everything that's for sale this week. This week I think was definitely a lot better. We unfortunately don't have any damage to elite mods, so if you're looking for those, unfortunately we'll have to wait off on those for a little while. Make sure you guys buy damage to elite mods whenever they come through. They are very important. Even if they are a bit lower, they're always worth buying. But in the meantime, for this reset, there's definitely a lot of good options. Let me know what you guys picked up, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day.